Hello everyone and welcome to our new home. So I made it to England. I am here. I am back with Leon. I had a really nice flight, and when I got to London, Leon picked me up at the airport and we took the train here, and the train ride was so beautiful. It was the most beautiful train ride I have ever been on. It was just fields with cows and sheep, and it was just absolutely gorgeous and scenic and beautiful, and it feels so good to be here and to be back with Leon. He's in class right now, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to update you guys, tell you guys I got here safely, show you guys our new home. Obviously you could see our little kitchen area and our little bedroom area. We have a really beautiful and cozy studio apartment which we love so much, and it already feels like home. Today is my second full day and I've been loving it. I also came home to a very wonderful surprise from Leon, so I thought I would give you guys some reading updates because I have read some really great books recently. So the first one that I read that I haven't told you guys about yet, I started and finished in one sitting before I left, and that is Come Rain or Come Shine by Kazuo Ishiguro. I don't want to tell you too much because it is a short story, but it's really examining friendship and marriage and how we view success and what we do for our friends, what we do for our spouses, and it was a very interesting examination on all of that. He always writes such captivating, beautifully written stories that I can't help but fall right into. So I'm very glad that I read it. I really enjoyed it, although it's not a new all-time favorite. So that is Come Rain or Come Shine. And then I started and finished The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop, which is a memoir from the actress that plays Emily Gilmore in Gilmore Girls. Emily Gilmore is one of my favorite characters. Gilmore Girls is probably my all-time favorite show, and it's just my comfort show. I just see so much of myself in that show. My heart and soul just belongs in it. So I was so excited to read this memoir, and it was more than I could have even imagined. I loved reading about Kelly's life. She had a really interesting relationship with her family. She was very close with her mother, not close with her father at all, really. And it's about her getting into ballet and then becoming a Broadway dancer, and her career as a creative person, especially with dance and acting. And I knew that she was a dancer, but it was so exciting to learn more about her story. I actually learned that she is the inspiration to a song that I love from the Broadway show A Chorus Line, which she goes all into detail about that, but this one song is called At the Ballet, and I have loved it for years, and it's actually based off of Kelly Bishop's life, which I didn't even know. So it was really interesting because at that time, I think it was the 70s, they had a group of Broadway singers, producers, dancers, directors, writers all come together and kind of have this conversation with one another, and they recorded everyone's life stories and what they had to share, and they took what Kelly Bishop shared about her life and wrote the song At the Ballet, basically like word for word about her life and her experiences, and then she got to play that role, the character who sings at the ballet in A Chorus Line. I've actually never seen A Chorus Line fully. I really enjoy musicals, but I haven't seen a lot of really, really famous ones. So yes, I really want to watch that now, and I just loved it. So she talked a lot about her career as a Broadway dancer and then how that led to acting. She also talked about her experience acting in the movie Dirty Dancing, which is one of my favorite movies, and then of course one of my favorite parts of the whole memoir was when she talked about her experience on Gilmore Girls. And it was just so wonderful and beautiful to be able to hear more about her life and even her relationships. She had so many interesting thoughts on relationships and her love of animals. I didn't realize she was such a big animal lover like I am, and so that made me feel even more connected to her. So it was just a beautiful, beautiful memoir that I will treasure forever. I loved it so much, and I highly recommend it if you are also a fan of Gilmore Girls. Let me know if you are, who your favorite character is. One of my favorite characters is for sure Emily. I love like season 1 through 3 Rory, and then after that, I don't know, I don't agree with a lot of her decisions. My favorite character is probably Luke. I just think Luke is the best. So still reading Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. This is so wonderful and magical. So we are set in this book in England in the early 1800s, and we are in a world where magic used to exist, but it's kind of like going extinct in a way, and there's this one person named Mr. Norrell who is a practicing magician, and all the other people who have been learning about magic but haven't been able to practice it are fascinated by the fact that he can actually still do and practice magic. And so there's one scene in the beginning of the book in York Cathedral where some magic happens. I don't want to tell you too much, but it is the most incredible scene. I loved it so much. It was so imaginative and enchanting. Something that I'm really loving about her writing is that it's very reminiscent of early 1800s. It feels like it's really reminiscent of the language and the vocabulary, and just the way that the book is written feels very reminiscent of the early 1800s, which I feel like suits the story so beautifully. So I'm really, really enjoying this one. I'm so excited to tell you guys about this next book that Leon surprised me with. So on September 24th, Sally Rooney came out with her newest book, Intermezzo, and I have been wanting to get it since it came out, obviously, on the 24th, but I really wanted to get a UK edition, and there were a few bookshops in the UK that were hosting special events for it, and I really preferred the UK edition, so I was like, you know what, when I get here, I'll get a UK edition. But on the publication day, there were a few bookshops around the UK that were even hosting, like, live artists would draw on these special covers, and they were giving out tote bags and t-shirts, and this was specifically in the UK for certain bookshops, and it just looked so amazing. But I wasn't able to go because I wasn't here yet. I left on the 27th and this was the 24th. I was telling Leon about this and I was like, oh, you know, I wish I could go to these events, but I'm not going to be there yet, and I was just so excited to get the book. So on the train ride back here, I said to him, like, the second that we arrive, if we pass a bookshop, I need to buy Intermezzo because I need to read it immediately. Anyway, I get home and Leon took a funny video of me, but he's like, let me film you, like, walking into the room for the first time. So then I walked in, I'm looking around, I'm like, oh my god, wow, like, so amazing. And the book and this tote bag were on the bed, and I was oblivious. I didn't even notice them at first because I was just looking around the room. Then I finally noticed that he got me Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, the beautiful UK edition. He not only got me the beautiful UK edition, but he also got me...
The first couple of pages are really cool.
Don't tell me it's freaking signed! It's freaking signed! Sally Rooney held this book and signed it. A signed copy. It's signed. Sally Rooney held this book with her hands, and I just wanted to cry. It was the most special surprise ever. I literally told him on the train ride journey that I wanted to get this book when we arrived, and he was like, I had such a hard time keeping the secret. So yes, his friend actually works at a local bookshop here, and she hooked him up with all these goodies because he was going to be in class during that time or on that day, and he wouldn't have time to get, like, the tote bag and the other things that they were giving out because he was going to be in class. So he asked his friend if she could put some of the things aside for me, and she did. So I'm just so thankful and grateful, and I'm so happy. I started reading it and I'm loving it. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, there is a Intermezzo bookmark in there, and I think I know the significance of the dog, but I'm not 100% sure. But isn't this the most beautiful thing? So it relates to chess, which is why there are a lot of, like, chess motifs surrounding the design of the book. Then we have the tote bag, which looks like this. Again, we have the dog and then Sally Rooney Intermezzo, and inside there are some more goodies. There was this cover, which is the covers that I was telling you about that they had artists at, I think it was only like 4 bookshops in the UK. They were drawing on this part of the book cover for people on the release day, and they were giving out these like special customized covers. So Leon thought that I could do my own design for the cover. So I'm very excited. I will at some point design my own cover for Sally Rooney's Intermezzo. And then also the back is blank as well, so you can put your own designs here. And then there's this really cute chess piece pin, some really lovely stickers, and then this other kind of metallic sticker, which is so cool. And then last but certainly not least, there's an Intermezzo t-shirt! Oh my gosh, and it has the dog on the back as well. I think Leon said that they had a limited quantity of these at his friend's bookshop that she works at, so I am one of the few people that actually got a t-shirt, which is so incredibly exciting. So as you can see, Leon is just incredibly thoughtful, and I feel very, very, very lucky. So let me tell you about Intermezzo, because oh my gosh, is it so great. So I forgot about Sally Rooney's very interesting technique of not using quotation marks. So that took me a little bit of getting used to, but we are following two brothers as they grieve the loss of their father, who I believe was in his like early to mid 60s, and one of the brothers, Ivan, is described as being a chess prodigy, and then his brother Peter is, I think, just sort of trying to figure out life. That's what I'm getting from Peter. He's just sort of trying to cope and deal with life. The dynamic between the characters is already so incredible, and Sally Rooney's writing is just unlike any other writer I have ever read, and I adore her writing. It does take a little bit of getting used to, just her technique of how she formats her work, but once you get used to it, you will fly right through, and that is what's happening with me. I think I'm only like 30 pages in, so I feel like I don't have too much to say. I'm really intrigued by how chess is going to play a role in these characters' lives, and I really like the conversations around chess. Ivan is already... See, okay, I love Russian literature, and every time I say Ivan, it kind of grates at my soul because I want to say Ivan, but I've been hearing other people and Sally Rooney herself pronounce his name Ivan, so I've been trying to say Ivan, 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 and not Ivan, 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 but I keep wanting to say Ivan. Ivan, I'm really intrigued by his character and how chess is going to play a role in his life, and I'm just excited to follow this story. So that's all you can ask for in a book, but incredibly happy to have this beautiful signed edition. I truly can't believe Sally Rooney once held this book in her hands, and now I'm holding it in my hands. So this is the book that I am currently reading along with Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell for the Game of Tomes book club. Of course, if you want to join the Game of Tomes book club, there is always a link in my description, but I'm very excited to continue reading Jonathan Strange and Intermezzo. I have a feeling this is going to become an all-time favorite, so I will keep you guys updated. I will also keep you guys updated with our adventures in England and all that we are up to, and all the books that I will be, of course, reading and buying. I have yet to go to a bookstore, but I am so excited to go book shopping. I'm so excited to read, so I hope you are excited as well and have enjoyed this little update, and have enjoyed seeing a little bit of our apartment, and I'm so happy to be here, and so happy that you are here and that you could come on this journey with us. So I would love to know what you're currently reading, how you guys are doing, if you have read or are reading Intermezzo, if you're interested in reading it. I would just love to know all your thoughts. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for always being here and being so lovely and wonderful, and I will see you very soon in another video, and as always, happy reading!